Sp4zie and plenty.
When every trace of you is lost, I will remain.
Hello YouTube, Sp4zie coming right at you. Today we're taking a look at Azir, the new champion on the public beta environment right now. It's all about running around, being all types of golden, summoning minions that he controls and just slap people with AoE, attack speed, magic damage. And it's looking pretty crisp, and the emote is not the best. It's not the best emote spams, I'll give you that, but it's okay. Let's take a look at the abilities. That's what you guys are here, let's dive into it. We're gonna start off with a W today because it's the core of everything. It's called the Rise, and Azir summons this untargetable sand soldier that does auto attack damage for him if they're in range of the target that you choose to click on. They sort of do an auto attack in a line, so it's potential AoE damage as well. The soldiers will stay alive for a while or until you leave them too far behind. Much like the Vel'Koz W, you can actually store stacks on this ability. So if you don't use it for a while, you'll have 2 sand soldiers ready to go with a short little casting cooldown in between. Moving on to the Q, it's called Conquering Sands. And this is where you send your summoned soldiers to a target location. If it passes through an enemy, it'll deal magic damage and apply a slow for each little soldier that passes through them. So you can actually stack up. Now it already gets a little bit interesting because if you play a lot of mages, you'll usually do some damage with your Q. So you'll see this as a damage ability. However, if you're not able to auto attack with your minions afterwards, you're gonna miss out on a lot of potential damage. For instance, what I found myself doing a lot of times is sending them into a champion and then backing off to kite them, which meant that the enemy champion would move towards me and my soldiers would be out of range to auto attack him. In a longer team fight, you definitely want to line up your Q and your Ws into a good position where they can deal as much damage with auto attacks as possible. Then there's the E, which is called Shifting Sands. And this is where you dash towards one of the soldiers on the battlefield. And if you collide with an enemy champion on the way, you'll knock them up into the air and you'll also gain a little shield on yourself, which is pretty nice. So an aggressive combo would be summon a minion, send it in with your Q behind the enemy champion, follow up with E to knock them up into the air and land a couple of auto attacks. A defensive use of this ability would be to summon a soldier, send them back towards your turret with your Q, and then follow up with the E to escape the gank. Ultimate time. Emperor's Divide. This is where you summon a golden Anivia wall of sand soldiers. Yay. When you summon it, you knock people back and you deal magic damage to them, and then the wall of soldiers will stay there for a while and it'll block enemies. You can't even dash through it. Azir and his allies, however, can pass through freely, and they do gain a little bit of a movement speed boost every time they do. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be a very strong ultimate for team fights. We all know that the Anivia wall can definitely win team fights and games if placed correctly. And while you cannot place this sort of behind champions to lock them in, the fact that your allies can pass through it freely and gain movement speed while they do is just very strong. I mean, if this is placed correctly in the jungle, you can definitely put yourself in a good spot to dash out a lot of damage with your auto attacks in an AoE fashion, while your teammates also follow up. And yeah, I just see a lot of potential in this ultimate. Now let's finish off with the passive. It is an interesting one for sure. First things first, there's a passive called Will of the Emperor, which is an itemization passive that grants Azir 2% attack speed for every 1% of cooldown reduction he has. Now, as you can see here in this example, it actually is more worth for me to buy the cooldown boots than it is to buy the Zerkries for attack speed. So obviously this is a very significant passive that is going to change how you build this champion. And you do want a lot of attack speed in there, so this is a good thing. The second component is called Disc of the Sun. This is an active, and hold your horses because this is awesome. Onto the ruins of all the turrets except the ones that are inside the enemy base, which means the Nexus and the inhibitor turrets of the enemy team, you can right-click to summon a new turret. What? It's... nice. It's on a hefty 3-minute cooldown, so you can't always do this, and the turret sort of decays over 1 minute. Now, how useful or not it's going to be, it's actually hard to tell for me. I don't know, but the concept is just so awesome. Alright, some final words then. I like the ideas here. I like the concept a lot. Don't know where I'm gonna stand in terms of how much I'm gonna play this champion. I'm definitely gonna try him out and play him a lot when he comes out. If you enjoy playing Kayle, you're probably gonna enjoy Azir because he is a different take on the auto attack speed mage thingy. His hyper carry potential is a little bit quenched by the fiddliness of his abilities, but what you lose in the skill cap needed to pull it off, you gain in utility and crowd control and stuff like that. Either way, those are some thoughts. It's time to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this little little preview. If you did, feel free to drop a little like or dislike if you didn't. Also leave a comment of what you think. Is this gonna be useful? I don't know. There's a Reddit thread right now where Azir actually kills a turret from the other side of the wall. I doubt that's gonna be in game, but subscribe to the channel. I release 3 videos a week, so you won't be disappointed. Check out the live stream in the link down below. I might be streaming a little bit this afternoon, depending on when you watch this video, of course. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff in the description. I'll see you guys next time, alright? This has been Sp4zie, and I'm out. Dudes!